This week in grammar, we're going to be working with the learning target. I can produce and expand complete, simple, and compound sentences in response to questions and prompts. So we're going to be specifically working with the compound sentences part of this learning target. What is a compound sentence? Think about a compound word. If I have the word football, those are two little words that I can put together to make the word football. Well, a compound sentence or a compound question is two little sentences or two little questions that we put together using what we call a conjunction. Now, the conjunction in the middle of our sentence acts like a bottle of glue. So I have these little bottles of glue over here on the side to help us remember. The conjunctions we will focus on are the conjunctions and, or, and but. Those are like glue that are going to hold together two little sentences or two little questions to make a longer question or a longer sentence. So here, a compound question has two shorter questions joined by a comma and or. So if we're going to make a compound question, we're going to use the conjunction and or. A compound statement, we're going to join with the comma again and use the conjunction and, but, or. Okay, so here's some examples. Who knocked at the door and what did they want? If you look, I have a comma here and the conjunction and. You see two little sentences that could be sentences all by themselves in my compound sentence or my compound question. Who knocked at the door? That could be a question all by itself. What did they want? Could be a question all by itself. But we made it one compound question by joining those two little questions. We put in a comma and the word and. And is the conjunction. Let's look at the second example of a compound question. Did our team play well? Or could they have done better? So I can identify two small questions. Did our team play well? Could we have done better? I took those two small short questions and combined them with the conjunction or. So I put a comma at the end of the first question instead of a question mark, put in the conjunction or, and added in the second small question. Now let's look at the examples of compound statements. Remember, a statement is a declarative sentence, a telling sentence. Our team played well, but we could have done better. I can identify two little statements that could stand alone as sentences. Our team played well. We could have done better. Both of those can be sentences all by themselves, but instead of writing two small sentences, we join them with the comma and the conjunction to make a compound sentence. We can watch a movie, or we can play cards. I can identify two small sentences in my large sentence. We can watch a movie. We can play cards. Instead of making two short, choppy sentences, we make it a better sentence by joining them with the conjunction. Remember, before you use your conjunction, to put in your comma, the punctuation mark comma that sits on the line. Here, we are going to take two short sentences or two short questions and put them together to form a compound question or a compound sentence, compound statement. Let's look closer. Here are my two short sentences. Will the cat catch the mouse? Will the mouse escape? I have two short questions about the same topic. I'm going to put them together with a conjunction. Which one do you think would work best? Will the cat catch the mouse and will the mouse escape? Well, that doesn't make sense because if he catches the mouse can't escape. So, and putting them together doesn't work. Let's use the choice word. Will the cat catch the mouse or will the mouse escape? That sounds good. Let's check. Yes, we used our conjunction or our glue word or to join these two short sentences. Will the cat catch the mouse or will the mouse escape? Notice how my punctuation in capital letters changed when I joined the two short questions. Instead of this question mark after mouse in the first question, I now have a comma. Good. We put in that glue word, the conjunction or, and the W in will for the second question is now lowercase. Or will the mouse escape? And my question mark now goes at the end of my compound question. Let's look at another one. Leo wrote a poem. I drew a picture to go with it. So both of these sentences are about the same topic. Instead of having two short, choppy sentences, we're going to combine them to form a compound sentence. Leo wrote a poem and I drew a picture to go with it. Leo wrote a poem or I drew a picture to go with it. We're not given a choice, so that one doesn't really fit. Leo wrote a poem, but I drew a picture to go with it. Sounds like it should either be and or but. Which conjunction makes this compound sentence sound better? What do you think? All right, let's check. Leo wrote a poem and I drew a picture to go with it. We're telling about two things that happened. So we use the conjunction and to combine or put together those thoughts. Let's look at how our punctuation changed. Leo wrote a poem. Instead of the period at the end of that short sentence, I now have a comma. I put in the conjunction and, that's working like my glue to hold the two little sentences together. And the I had to stay capital because I is always capital when it stands alone as a word. So Leo wrote a poem and I drew a picture to go with it. We see two short sentences joined with a comma and a conjunction. We now have a compound sentence. I wanted to buy a ticket. They were sold out. I have two short, choppy sentences about the same topic. I want to join them with a comma and a conjunction. Which conjunction best would fit this sentence? I wanted to buy a ticket and they were sold out. I shouldn't be putting those things together, so and doesn't work. I wanted to buy a ticket or they were sold out. I don't have a choice, so or isn't the right word to pick. I wanted to buy a ticket, but they were sold out. That sounds like the best choice. Let's check. I wanted to buy a ticket, but they were sold out. So this is a perfect example of using two short sentences together to make a compound sentence. Let's look at the punctuation. We took out the period at the end of the first sentence and put in a comma. We added the conjunction, but, changed the capital letter in the second sentence to lowercase, and then put a period at the very end. You still see my two complete sentences. I wanted to buy a ticket. They were sold out. We still see all of those words. The two little sentences are still there, just like with a compound word. When I put foot and ball together, I still have foot and I still have ball. I've just put them together. So I still have my two little sentences. I've just put them together, hold them together with that conjunction glue to make a compound sentence. So your activity today is going to ask you just to identify whether some sentences are compound. And you'll do that by dragging over your box to put over the yes or no answer to the question. Remember, you're going to look for two small sentences put together with a comma and a conjunction. We can use and, or, and but when it's not a compound sentence. So you've got to look for all those parts to make sure the sentence is truly compound. So you have a few of those to do to check for your understanding. Do your best work.